In the past few days, major top players from the Splatoon community, followed by several content creators, have shared and revealed their tier list of weapons for the current version of Splatoon 3. We've seen different opinions and perspectives, but most of all, I like the aspect of learning tidbits of information from each, building a bigger picture. Hey there everyone, it's Haz here, and in this video I'll share my top 5 weapons in the current patch of Splatoon 3, which is 1.1.2. A lot of you have asked for my opinion, so I'll talk about why I think these weapons are really good now, but also offer some great choices for players of all levels to try new weapons. Before we proceed, I have several guides and videos for Splatoon 3, and if you like my content, consider to like, subscribe and such to support the channel. Thank you. First weapon is the Splash-o-matic. Now keep in mind this is not in order, so I don't really put them against each other. The Splash-o-matic has been recommended to me for weeks to try it out more from others because of how successful they were with the gun in all game modes. So I tried it out and I have to admit it's a really fun weapon and a very easy to handle one at that. I think it's really important and also makes it quite good a beginner weapon. It has a slight spread while shooting, similarly to the Splattershot JR and the arrow spray, but because of its increased range, it can be used in a bit less aggressive manner compared to the other two. You can see my accuracy isn't top notch and the minor spread of the gun really makes up for it somehow, so I think it's a good choice if you're not 100% confident in your aim or you're still practicing. What really brings out the best of the Splash-o-matic on the other hand, I think it's kit, and it's fantastic in Splatoon 3. The burst bomb is arguably one of the best sub-weapons you can have. It's cheap with ink and great at initiating fights for that extra damage. Since the Splash-o-matic also has great painting, it can use the crab tank probably the most times out of all the weapons with this special. So if you're a fan of the new crab, it's another reason to pick up the Splash-o-matic. The crab tank is quite decent when it comes to specials overall in the game, has excellent survivability in its full form, and it can have either continuous fire with ZR or burst shot similar to some ranged sloshers with R. With this kit you have a great combo as the Splash-o-matic excels in close range with some long range pokes from burst bombs, and if you really need to engage in long range finds to splat a charger or Splatling for instance, the crab tank is right there to complement your playstyle. And in case you just need to defend a point, a tower or a splat zone, I think the burst shots of the crab tank are somewhat underused right now, but it can be used to zone your opponents a lot. But admittedly, Splatoon 3 is still fresh and like everything else, you're still getting used to the new stuff, figuring out what's best in what situation, but I think the crab tank will see some more popularity in the future. Next, the Sloshing Machine. Most of you probably already know about it, but with the current performance and state of the Sloshing Machine, it's going to be in the top ranks for everyone. It's just that broken, and I mean it literally. In the past weeks, we've seen several clips of people showing how broken the walls and hitboxes of Splatoon 3 are right now, and the Sloshing Machine also had some buffs compared to Splatoon 2, increasing its hit range, and the two combined makes it quite unfair, I can even say. The Sloshing Machine can literally splat people through walls in cases and has a ludicrous hitbox, so much so that if you just hit somewhere around your opponent, I guarantee you will hit it. This is the reason of its quite increased popularity right now, and I think I can see a Sloshing Machine in almost every match, if not at least 2 of them. It has decent damage and range, and if someone is proficient with sloshers, it's just the top weapon in Splatoon 3 right now, no question. On top of it all, it also has kind of the best, I think, meta kit for the game, as it's using the Fizzy Bomb, which I think is the best sub-weapon, and the Booyah Bomb, which is universally a great special. This kit is just really powerful. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can still play without using your slosher at all. Just throw Fizzy Bombs and Booyah Bombs, and you will still get quite a few splats and support your team considerably. They are just that powerful and have so much utility. So having this kit and the weapon overperforming right now makes it a no-brainer to choose it into any tier list currently. Of course, I expect it will be nerfed soon, but we will see exactly how and when. Then I choose the Splattershot JR. I was a bit conflicted between choosing the normal Splattershot or the Junior, but in the end, the kit convinced me. The Junior is a fairly close-range painting machine. I wouldn't say the best for slaying or splatting, but it has excellent painting power, and I think what raises it above others is its ink capacity. I think it has around 30% larger ink capacity than most other guns, so you will still be very much shooting when everyone else already ran out of ink. This makes it a great beginner weapon since newer players tend to miss a lot and have inconsistent ink management, and the Junior will really help you with that. Getting used to the shorter range and fairly mediocre splat time can be challenging, at least I had some trouble with it as I prefer longer range guns. But for players who love the arrow spray and similar guns, it's a great weapon. And why? Because of its kit. The Splattershot JR comes with a generic splat bomb, good in all situations really, and the Big Bubbler special. I have to admit I really didn't like the Big Bubbler at first. I could see its uses but I didn't like it, but boy how wrong I was. This special is useful for any and all game modes, I think, really. You can place it on top of a tower on tower control and push further in, as most opponents panic when they see a big bubbler, making even more mistakes. Though keep in mind your bubbler is weaker on top of a tower and lasts a bit shorter. You can also place a bubbler right in front of an enemy basket and clam blitz, allowing your team to rush in quicker and also be safe while throwing in the rest of the clams for more points. So isn't it just really useful? Or at least I'm having lots of fun playing this as a support for the team, and so far it's been very successful. Most of the time I think the problem in random anarchy battles is that your team doesn't know when to push, and you end up playing way too defensive and ending up with no points. The big bubbler is pretty much a perfect sign for your team, showing that it's up, we are ready to push, and like a heroic speech, everyone starts to move along with it. To also talk about the gun a little bit though, not just the kit, I don't know how you all feel about Splatoon 3, but currently I really feel it's very long range favored, and sometimes you really just miss that one teammate that pushes along or is competent enough to push the team, and I think the Junior is a great candidate for that, to nudge the team just a bit, support in close range, and you just have the special to support that push along with them. Next, we have the Squeezer, a not so beginner friendly weapon in the list, but with that much more versatility and unique gameplay. The Squeezer has two firing modes, the continuous burst if you hold down your ZR, great for painting and certain close range encounters, and your tap firing with its exceptionally long range and perfect accuracy. It also hits quite hard, requiring only 3 hits to splat with a very competitive fire rate for its range. The reason I'm somewhat reluctant on recommending it that often really is the tap firing, as I'm personally terrible with tapping ZR and using brushes or guns like this, not because I can't do it, but rather because it tends to wear my fingers down and it's really not a comfortable playstyle in my opinion. But despite that, I can't deny the tap firing of the Squeezer is just so powerful in itself, allowing more diverse clothing options as well, freeing up space like Intensify Action, that it just deserves a spot I think among top weapons. For its sub-weapon, it's in a bit of a disadvantage that it doesn't have a bomb. As we know, bombs are definitely the favorable choice for most kits when it comes to the meta, but the splash wall is still very good and has its uses and is a good defensive option, but it's definitely dragging the gun down. Another reason why it's generally considered somewhat hard of a weapon and I can't fully recommend to beginners is its special, the Trizooka. The brand new Trizooka can be really hard to handle as its firing arc is not obvious and also its hitbox can take a while to get used to. I think it's in top 3 best specials in the game right now, simply on how powerful it is, its range, but also how dynamic this special can be used in any situation. It can just adjust whether the enemy reacts defensively or decided to push, it can react properly. Not to mention that the Trizooka can pretty much counter most of the other top specials and shut them down. If you feel up to it, the Squeezer is a fantastic jack-of-all-trades type of weapon with a competitive kit, but it can really wear down your hands very fast, so I recommend lots of stretches while using it to stay safe. And finally, my choice goes to the Hydra Splatling. I definitely have a bias towards Splatlings, but the Hydra is really good in Splatoon 3, and I also have a video just about this weapon if you're interested. It is one of the slowest weapons in the game, but it's also the weapon with the highest DPS with a 3-shot splat when charged, which you will be 90% of the time, pretty much. Most maps on Splatoon 3 have outstanding positions for backliners and anchors, and if you're a competent charger or Splatling user, and your opponents don't know how to handle that, you can easily shut down a whole enemy team alone, and Hydra Splatling just excels at this. And since most of these locations also have a wall, your downsides such as slow speed or long charge speed is pretty much forgotten if you learn to time your charges right. It has top-notch charge duration, firing speed, and damage, and I think it's also an exceptional painter, making it a great choice for splat zones too. If that isn't enough, it also has quite an amazing kit compared to Splatoon 2. Previously, it had the splashdown, which caused somewhat of an identity crisis for a backliner, but now with the Booyah Bomb, the Hydra is the ultimate backline supporter. You can use both the Oda Bombs and the Booyah Bomb still if you get rushed and you need some backup in close range, but now if you're safe, you don't really need to get in close and leave your position anymore, thanks to Booyah Bomb. Apart from the obvious pros of the Booyah Bomb being an excellent deny special, it gives free special charges for the whole team at the same time. If you didn't know, when a teammate uses Booyah Bomb, spamming your Booyah button also charges your own special meter, allowing the whole team to use more specials. So it's not only a very versatile special to push, defend, or just keep the enemy team away, but it also charges the whole team's special meter for the next team push. All in all, if you like Splatlings, you know how to use charger guns, and you have a good team that can defend you by not allowing the enemy slayers to push past your defenses, you are pretty much immortal as a Hydra Splatling, and you can just treat your matches as shooting practice. But those are my top 5 guns for the current 1.1.2 Splatoon 3 patch, everyone. What did you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section, as it's always nice to hear different opinions on these topics. I tried to put this list together for both new and more veteran players, and I think everyone has a gun that they can relate to and use them well. But what I like about all these 5 weapons is that they're pretty much useful in all modes in my opinion, and can complement any team. Either way, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope it was helpful and fun. I have a lot more Splatoon content on my channel, so feel free to check that out. But that's a wrap for this video. Stay safe everyone, and I'll see you next time.